And then he gets to Matthew 5, and he's reading about this sermon, and this is what he reads. Don't think that I've come to abolish the Torah. Well, just stop right there. How could you say he abolished the Torah when he's saying out of his very lips in the gospel that I didn't? Wow. What a faux pas. Or the prophets, for that matter. I didn't come to abolish what they said. I have come not to abolish, he says it again, but to complete. What is that word in the Greek, pleroo? To fully preach it. To let you really understand it, and to take the Torah and not hang it on a wall that you have to run to every time you're ready to do something, but I'm going to write it inside you. Yes, indeed! Exclamation point. Make no mistake, buddy. The seminaries don't teach this. But it's almost like you're talking with a forked tongue, like you're a spiritual schizophrenic. Because in one way you'll say, not you, but people, men of God, the law was nailed to the cross, and then they put the 10 Commandments in the yard and they go, obey them. Come, stay. Which one is it? Illogical? Theologically very messed up. I tell you, this is Yeshua speaking. It's not Greg. I'm reiterating. I tell you that until heaven and earth pass away, not so much as a yud, the smallest letter in the Hebrew alphabet, not a sentence, a letter, or a stroke, the vowel markings on how to pronounce the word, will not pass from the Torah. Now, I know some people are a little whacked, but is heaven and earth still with us? You don't have to think about that one. You're sitting on a chair in Macon, which is on planet Earth. He's using exaggeration, hyperbole. He's saying, it's not going nowhere, dude. Stealing was bad, stealing is bad, stealing will always be bad. Not until everything that must happen has happened. Has everything happened yet? No. Everything that's prophesied happens. When it does, he will come, and then we won't have to worry about the Torah anymore because we'll be glorified. We'll be perfected. So, now listen to this. Now this is important. So whoever disobeys the least of these commandments in the Torah, and not only that, that's bad enough, but then teaches people not to? Wow, it's one thing if you want to make the mistake, but then you're going to teach other people to make the mistake? Hey, this is why all over the New Testament it said, don't be quick to teach. You don't want to be responsible for everything you say. I tell you, as God is my witness, when I met the Lord, I knew I was called. I knew I was called from that day because he told me, and I said, I will do anything you want. I will go anywhere. I will go to the most treacherous areas and preach the gospel. I do not want to be a teacher, and I definitely don't want to be a shepherd. I'm not making it up. I promise you that's what I said. Now, just so you know, they'll be called least in the kingdom of God, which means what? Are they in the kingdom? Yes. Don't ever if you teach people to disobey the Torah, let's say, but you believe in Yeshua, you're what? You're saved, but you're in the back row. You know what I mean? How many people when you were young went to concerts? Maybe you still do, but a lot of you, right? Now, when I was young, I from the time I was about 18, I worked a lot of backstage concerts, so I had great seats, right? But sometimes Bernadette and I would sleep all night online. There was no computers or anything. You had to, depending on how many days you slept online, you'd be the first one to get the tickets. Now it doesn't even matter if you sleep online because they're all corporate tickets and you won't get good ones anyway. But back in the day, you could sleep online and get first row. We would sleep online. Well, Bernadette would. I would sleep for a little while, then leave and go with my friends and come back. It was a great deal. But anyway, the point is that you would never sleep all night long, and when they said, hey, what kind of tickets you want, you would never say, give me the furthest away from the stage. I want to be as far away. I want my nose to bleed. I want to... I don't care. I don't want to be able to know if I'm seeing Bruce Springsteen or Bruce Willis. I don't even want to recognize. Do you follow what I'm saying? Why would you want to be least in the kingdom? Not great to strut your stuff, but just, don't you want to be as close to Yeshua as possible? Joseph Klausner, a non-believing Jewish expert, Jesus was best understood as a Jew and an Israelite who lived devoutly Jewish and came to reform the religion. So if he did that, and we're a follower of him, what do you think we might want to do? Let me show it to you a different way, just in case you're not thrilled with Yeshua's words. Some people preach Paul more than Yeshua. I don't think we should, but that's another issue. Ephesians 2:19-20. Let's hear from Paul. He says, so then, you are no longer, who is he speaking to? Give you a hint. They're people in Ephesus. Okay, they're Gentile believers. And he says, so then you, Gentile believers, and that could be you, sir, or you, ma'am. You are no longer foreigners and strangers. What did that mean 2,000 years ago? It means the same thing it means today. No, on the contrary, not only are you not a foreigner or a stranger, you are fellow citizens with God's people. Who are God's people? The Jews and members of God's family. That means you're no more, your status is no more of the world. You're not a stranger. You're part of the commonwealth of Israel. You're a citizen of Israel. Not national Israel, not natural Israel. You're a citizen of Israel, which means the God of Israel is your God. The promises of Israel, no weapon formed against me, are now your promises. The covenants of Israel are now your covenants. The laws of Israel, you didn't want those. You want all the good stuff, right? You sound like the immigrants of today.